Man, you already know what it is. Jay Williams, I'm living life, and we're back. I'm tired. How many times I gotta say I'm tired? Stopped to grab the family some food. Still not home. When I left, it was dark. It's dark again. But I'm blessed. So we're gonna do some of the drunken stories. As I've told y'all, I'm now 14 months sober. I don't even smoke. Like, I don't do anything. I'm straight edge. I'm just a square. I'm glad I don't drink. Drinking used to bring out the worst in me. I was not a good person. I wasn't pleasant to be around. I thought I was, but looking back on it and looking at all these stories, kind of contradicts itself. I can't say I'm okay to be around when I drink, but I got 1,000 stories that ended terribly when I was drinking. I can't say I'm a fun guy, but I got in all these different fights when I was drinking. I quit drinking. And that's something I am proud of. That was a major achievement. With my channel getting hacked recently, that put me to the test. If I was going to relapse, that was one of the hardest things I had been through in a very long time. And it ended up being a blessing. I think it was just a test. And my channel getting hacked, I was able to create this channel where I'm able to give y'all so much more now. We're able to do so much more, twice the content, so many different roads to travel when it comes to content. And I did not drink. Pulled into the gas station, was sitting there, was looking at all the signs on the front of the store with all the different alcohols they had. Sat contemplating. All this would have been for nothing. This is the beginning to the end. If I opened that bottle, it was for nothing. If I open this bottle, I'm going to stop caring. I'm going to lose everything. I didn't do it. I didn't give in. So to anybody out there battling addiction, I don't care what it is, whether it's alcohol, drugs, prescription medication, any type of addiction, fight it. I've battled many in my life. Pills, alcohol, even smoking tree. At one point, you couldn't tell me I could function without it. I didn't believe it. But now I don't. I don't need it. And I'm happy. But I got a million crazy stories about my drunken escapades. Things I did while intoxicated. Quick fact. 95%, if not more, of my incarceration, my lockups, my trips to jail, handcuffs being put on me, 95% of all of that as a whole happened because I've been drinking. I can chalk up most of the large mistakes in my life to drinking. With that comes a whole lot of crazy stories. There's nothing to laugh about. Some of it's comical, some of it's tragical, and some of it's just stupid. Either way, y'all got a show on your hands tonight. With all that being said, you know how to seen it, you know how to lived it, so let's relive it. Now, before we get started, you need to keep in mind, I was drunk. For a lot of this, I was young. This is not who I am. This is not what I do on the day-to-day. These moments do not define me. These moments reflect my alcoholism. Like I said, some of it's comical. Some of it's just damn near tragic that I had to go through that. I got a homeboy named JJ. JJ, if you're watching, salute to you. JJ is Philly's cousin. JJ came here, I want to say in 2000. Him and his dad, Shellhead. Rest in peace, Shellhead. Me and JJ clicked up real quick. I met JJ in Philly. And just to tell you the backstory on JJ, I'll start off with that story. I went to Philly in 99 on the run. That's what I would do. I'm the gingerbread man. Catch me if you can. When I get in trouble, I bounce. I'm known to get not just out of town, completely out of state. Like, I'm not going to even stay in VA. I'm out. So I'd always dip to Philly. I meet JJ in Philly. I meet JJ the same day I get to Philly. I meet a dude named Shawnee. We touch down in Philly, take our bags to Bry's house. Bry's living off Dick Street. For y'all know what 68th and Dix is, right beside Carroll. That's where he's staying. Right on that corner house that caught on fire back in the day, next to Finnegan Park. That's where Bri stayed. We unpack our bags. Boom. We hit Elmwood Ave. We're out. We're on foot, hoofing it. Go through the old neighborhood and start just linking up with dudes. We come across Shawnee. Shawnee's walking by the school out there, and he's got this stick, and he's running it down the fence. We've just gotten to Philly. I've already gone and got alcohol. Been there maybe 2 hours already, and I'm probably 4 or 5 40s in, right? Then popped a bunch of Xanny bars. I'm feeling myself, and I'm feeling the effects of the alcohol. Bri sees Shawnee. Hey, Shawnee, what up? He turns around, looks, sees Bri in disbelief. There was a whole lot of beef when Bri left Philly. Man, you're back? You're tripping. We link up with them. Shawnee's walking down his fence with his stick, dragging his stick down his fence. And this dude tells him, hey, get the stick off the fence. Just one of the Philly residents. Shawnee starts taunting the dude. The dude comes running, hubcap lay on the ground. Shawnee picks the hubcap up, throws it, bang. His dude in the forehead lays him out. There's 2 beat cops. Those are dudes that walk on their feet. Walking down the street, they see the whole ordeal. I've just gotten to Philly. They just see a dude get hit in the face with a hubcap. Shawnee takes off running. They say, hey, y'all. And they point at us. Don't know which one of us threw the hubcap. We're ready to go in handcuffs, so we turn around and run. Grant you, I've already been drinking. This is my first day there. I'm intoxicated. I get away from the cops. Got warrants. Should have known this was going to end bad. It only gets worse. Philly's got Xanny houses. Like, you got like trap houses. You got houses out there that strictly sell Xannies. You got houses that sell wet, boat, whatever you want to call it. So I get more Xans. The night progresses. We drank more and more. That night, I can't even talk about. A lot happened. I eventually blacked out, but it was a very, very bad night. The next day, a whole bunch of fighting happened the night before. That I can say. That part I can put in there. A bunch of fights took place. The first night we were there, it was a bunch of different fights. The following day, we get up, start the same routine. Pop a handful of blue footballs, boom. Hit up the way. We're drinking a Wild Mouth Mickey's, buck a bunch of those, and then I go to the Billy D Double Malt Colt 45s. What y'all know about those? Things will lay you down. That's thinking back on it, that stuff was disgusting. I think the double malt might have been nastier than Camo, might have been nastier than Hurricane, King Cobra, Steel Reserve. That Billy D Double Malt Colt 45 was treacherous, but you wasn't trying to spend much money, and you was trying to get slumped, that would do it. So I go from the Wild Mouth Mickey's that my homeboy Jimmy had, and then I go to the double malt, and we're chugging. After that, we head up the way and we grab some cases of Ice House. Young, dumb, and reckless. This all leads into the backstory of JJ. We link up with JJ. What's good? I'm JJ. That's crazy. I'm just Jay. We become good friends in that moment right there, right? Start talking, chopping it up, whatever. We go get these cases of beer. Now we're walking down the strip, right beside Finnegan Park, right? And there's a bus pulled up. Now this bus has a whole bunch of dudes out there on the bus that are going to play baseball at Finnegan Park. I don't know if they were just practicing, because you didn't see a lot of baseball games out there. So I'm guessing that's what they did, was they just pulled up to use the field for practice, right? So you got a bus driver, you got a coach, and you got a whole bus full of dudes on there, like maybe our age. They didn't look to be, they weren't kids. These dudes were teenagers, late teens, just like us. And as we're walking by, these dudes got the nerve to start yelling out the bus windows, hey, what's up with them beers? Give me one of them beers, right? They're just clowning. They're not from around here. These boys are clearly not even from anywhere close to where we're at in Philly. You can tell, because they would have never came out their mouths like that, right? They're running their mouths, and JJ, one dude was leaned out the window running his mouth. JJ walks up to the bus, jumps up, pow, slaps dude in his face, right? Dudes start throwing stuff out the bus at us, right? Throwing stuff out the bus windows. We got a case of Ice House. I got one. He's got one. We don't see that as a case of Ice House. We see that as a box full of missiles. So we grab these beers, start chucking them at the bus. Boom, breaking out bus windows. Throwing these beers through the broken windows, hitting people in the head. Bang, 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 bang. Meanwhile, dudes are coming off the bus with baseball bats. So we run up to where the exit is, because you've got to come down the steps and get off the bus to do something with that baseball bat. Otherwise, the entrance to the bus, the little skinny entrance where the door folds open, isn't enough to swing a bat through. So as dudes are trying to come off the bus now, we're just punching now. Boom, boom, boom. Fighting these dudes trying to get off the bus. We stretch 2 or 3. They're laid outside the bus. Now you got the guy inside the bus pulling the door to keep everybody in. Now guys are trying to come off the back of the bus. So we got a homeboy that runs to the back of the bus, swinging on dudes as they're trying to come off. They can't get off the bus. You got the coach screaming at them. You got the bus driver screaming. And on another note, that door that they use to open and close on that bus, that's the toughest window there is out of all that glass. That glass did not break. Wouldn't be long after that, cops would be everywhere. We ended up hurting one of the dudes pretty bad with one of the beers. So we took off. A beer can would do massive damage. Kind of like in the other story when it hit dude in the mouth. Well, this one it hit dude and it did damage. And he started leaking, so it was time to go. This all started because of these dudes being idiots, running their mouth out of a bus window to a bunch of street dudes walking down the street in the middle of Philly, in the middle of the summer, minding our business. We would have walked right by that bus and never said a word to him till the dude started running his mouth. Now you take me and you take alcohol and you put us together, and then you take the law, which everybody knows, you can take that up and throw that out the window. That doesn't exist to me. So we run off. JJ's dad, Shell, didn't live far from me. He lived down where the 8-ball courts is, for anybody from around that area. Right behind the 8-ball courts was the row house, and his dad lived right there. So we cut straight from Finnegan Park, straight down the sidewalk, cut through, boom, behind the 8-ball courts, hop the fence with the beers, what's left of them, and go to Shellhead's house. That would be my introduction to JJ. I didn't last many days after that. It wouldn't be, I'd say, maybe 4 or 5 days after that whole incident with the bus that I ended up catching a robbery case out of Philly. And I would get sent off to CFCF, where I would sit for quite a while. But that was my introduction to JJ. So I do my time. We fast forward. You fast forward now. I think it was about a year and a half. I'm back in VA. I'm out. JJ moves here with his dad. Shellhead says there's just nothing in Philly. So they move here. They get an apartment in this place called Heritage Court Apartments. That's right next to my hood. That's literally, I can cut through this trail and be where my homeboy JJ lives there, right? Me and JJ got really, really close. JJ's house was like any other house that we kicked it at. If somebody allowed us to kick it there, it became the kick it spot. JJ and them lived poor. There's no other way to put it. When I mean they were hood, they were hood. His dad didn't buy no furniture. I don't know where he got that mattress from. And once again, no disrespect, rest in peace to Shellhead. The couch we got from beside a dumpster. One of the legs was broken, so we put a brick under it. The kitchen table we got from beside the dumpster. Put a screw through it and held the leg on. It was one of those houses. Milk crates in the living room. Somebody brought a boom box from the house that we put in the living room. I don't even remember there being a TV. Now I think about it, I don't remember there being a TV at Shellhead's house in Philly. We were doing bad. Everybody flocked there. With JJ and his dad just moving here, JJ's dad was older, but he liked the girls. And these girls were over 18, 19, 20, 21 and older. They would all be there with us too. So with him being an alcoholic, us being alcoholics, him not committing crimes, us being wide open, it worked out great. He wasn't going to jail for something we did. We were all over 18. We had a store right there in Exxon with a dude named Red. Red would sell me alcohol. I've been going in there for the longest time, and I knew Red from the neighborhood, so it wasn't like if I went in there underage, it was like, Red, sell me some alcohol. He's going to be like, straighten his Exxon badge and be like, no, sir. Red didn't give nothing about none of that. So we would go to this store. We wouldn't just buy beer. At the time, Hurricane had just came out. Remember the Hurricane in the glass bottle? That's what we were drinking. It was like $1.40. We go in there and buy cases. And when I mean cases, legitly cardboard boxes, as many Hurricanes as you can put inside the box. We buy $100 worth of Hurricane will turn a whole lot of people up. And then we will walk from this Exxon back to the apartments, which is maybe a 7-8 minute walk. Each one of us with a big box full of 40s, and we'd make it to JJ's house. Now, so much happened there that I really got to pinpoint and pick which incident I want to talk about. Ecstasy incident. There's a dude driving down the street one day. We have all been drinking. This dude almost hits us with his car. We're drunk. We're walking in the middle of the street. Broad day, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. But this dude's been taking ecstasy. He's driving. Skirt almost hits us. We bang on the hood of the car. What's wrong with you, man? Walk up in the window. You almost hit me. This dude should have pulled off. Dude's maybe a little older than me. Sits there for a second looking at us, bewildered. Man, you almost hit me with the car. Oh, my bad, my bad. Hey, and I don't understand why people do this to strangers you don't know. Y'all know anybody mess with the ecstasy? What you got, man? I'm expecting this dude to pull out just a couple. You know what I mean? That's what you usually see when you see somebody do something like this, or they offer something. They don't usually pull out everything they own. They usually pull out a couple. I am obliterated. Woke up that day, popping Xanax. Woke up that day, finished off the liquor, whatever type of nasty liquor we had, cheap liquor. Buck that. Been drinking Hurricanes all day. Now this dude almost hits me with a car. Here I stand at his car window, seeing double, eyes blurred. It is broad daylight outside. There are people all outside these apartments, and there's housing over here. There's people all outside the housing. Dude reaches over the passenger seat, grabs his backpack, reaches inside his backpack. My right-handed guy. This man pulls out a freezer bag, a big Ziploc bag that is full of different colors. Looked like a bag of Skittles. Y'all already know what was in the bag. No sooner than he pulled that bag out and I seen the bag, dun 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 dun, Drunk J dives into effect. Boom! Straight through the car window. Now, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Because when I did that, his reaction was to do like this, and the stuff just went everywhere. I'm talking about the bag opened and the pills just went throughout the whole entire car. So now we've done, open this dude's door, assisted his body outside the car and sat him down, and have commenced to opening all 4 car doors, trying to gather all this up. We've come across money, we've come across trees, we've come across all this different stuff that we just shove all back into the backpack, and we're literally in the floor, we're scooping up hands full of this stuff, putting it back in his backpack. These are thousands of pills. These things were going from anywhere from $10 to $20 a piece at a time, and there was thousands. I can't even remember how many it was. We gapped it up 4 different ways. This is all the same day. We peel off. Now, I had been eating these things here and there, and when I mean here and there, like 5 days a week, because I was also known to sell them. So my tolerance was very, very high, especially when you add alcohol into the mix. You don't feel like you can feel the alcohol, but in reality, you're completely trashed. You just don't think you are. We get later that night, we've divvied him up. I done hit a bunch of people up, hit a bunch of switches, sold a bunch, got a pocket full of money, got a pocket full of his money as well. Please don't judge me. This is not who I am. This is who I was. I would never, ever harm another human being, do anything like this. I'm just being honest with y'all. Let me be honest. Later that night, we're sitting out back, right? We have a bunch of crates we sit on outside. Whenever Shellhead goes to sleep, he walks to work like 5 miles, likes to walk, didn't want to ride, enjoyed the walk through Richmond, told him it was dangerous. You're going to get killed. You're going to get robbed. I'm from Philly. Richmond don't scare me. They'll leave me be. So if he was inside the house going to sleep, out of respect, we would all go out back. So we're all sitting out back one night, and I've popped a couple of these things, and I'm like, man, everybody else is rolling. I mean, like tripping balls. And I'm like, man, I'm not feeling it. Like, I'm legitimately not feeling it. I think they're fake, and I think all of y'all are faking it. And they're like, man, you eat way too much. You're burnt out. Look at you. How many did you eat? You ain't feeling it. Man, I ate 1, and I'm fried. And I'm like, nah, not possible. So what do? I've just popped these things. I haven't even given these things time to kick in. But you got to remember now, I've been drinking all day, and I've been eating Xanax, so what am I expecting to feel? I'm already wasted. Do I take 1? No. Do I take 2? No. I just grab a bunch like Tic Tacs, put them in my hand, throw them in my mouth, and swallow. We bring the radio outside. Everybody's laughing, joking. The music's playing. A couple of homeboys are freestyling. Chicks start showing up. It's getting later into the night. Boom! I black out. Last thing I remember is I was sitting on one of them crates, and there was a chick sitting there beside JJ, and I was talking to her, and I remember everything got real wobbly. Like, exactly like I just said. JJ and the chick, both of them, started doing like this as I was looking at them, and I was like, oh. I closed my eyes, and the next thing I know, I'm getting hit with water. I open my eyes, and I'm laying in the middle of a field. Just sprinklers spraying on me. I'm soaking wet. I don't know where I'm at. I don't remember blacking out. I don't remember going to sleep. I don't remember walking. I don't remember leaving JJ's house. The last thing I remember is sitting on that crate and everything going like this. The trees, the buildings, these pills had kicked in on top of that alcohol, and it was bad. I went straight blackout mode. So now I've got one shoe on. I've got no shirt on. I've got no belt. My pants are falling down. Why is my foot scraped up? Where is my shoe? Where is my sock? And where am I? Where is this water coming from? What happened? Which direction do I go? How far from home am I? Where am I? I do not recognize where I am. So I'm looking around, and as far as I can see, it's just grass. But if I look further enough in that direction, I see trees and what looks like buildings. So I'm like, all right. Water sprinklers are kicked on this golf course and woke me up. It's mid-morning, probably 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I realize I'm on a golf course because as I'm walking, I see a caddy drive by over the hills. And I'm like, and they're looking at me. There's this tattooed white dude limping with one shoe on, no shirt, no sock, no belt, pants falling down. None of the stuff I had in my pockets is there. My hat's gone. I don't even have a wife beater on. I start hobbling. Head is banging. I do last night. 100% a true story. As I get closer to these woods and these what look like buildings, I realize it's this thing called Meadowbrook Country Club. It's a golf course, and it's about 2 miles from where the apartments are. Now that I know where I'm at, I know how to get home. So I head back towards JJ's, right? I get to JJ's house. Everybody's inside crashed out asleep. The crates out back are knocked over. There's broken 40 bottles everywhere. There's my shirt. There's my hat. There's my shoe. What I'm about to say next, you're going to think is a lie. I'm looking around on the ground, and there's ecstasy. I mean, pills. Everywhere you look out back, it's straight concrete. There's ecstasy pills all over the ground. There's money on the ground. There's blood on the ground. It's just like people just emptied their pockets. So I'm banging on the door, banging on the door. I'm cold. Cold. JJ comes and answers the door. What up, man? Where you been? What happened? What you mean, what happened? What happened? You bugged out last night. You mean I bugged out? Well, we was sitting there chilling, you bugged out. Like you was talking to somebody that was not there. I said, man, the last thing I remember is I told y'all the pills wasn't working, and then everything went like this. And I just woke up on Meadowbrook Golf Course, like on the golf course. And all my stuff is out back. Where's my money and stuff? Brian's got all your money and stuff. You gave all your money to him. You gave it to him so you could fight dude. Who? What you mean? You don't know. Who was I going to fight? It wasn't nobody. I had to have somebody to fight. You can't just fight nobody. Jay, it wasn't nobody there. Like, you started talking to yourself. You started beefing with some people that wasn't there. You snapped out, you took your shirt off, took your hat off, took your belt off, and started swinging at him. Then you stumbled. Wait a minute. I stumbled off. Y'all let me stumble off in that condition? Man, we was messed up too. We was all tripping. You was legitimately trying to fight people that weren't there. Well, I walked 2 miles with one shoe on. No shirt. No belt. And fell asleep in the middle of a golf course. I'm soaking wet. Let me in. He lets me in. I'm dirty, like filthy dirty. Like I must have fell down a hill 100 times. Like I rolled in leaves. Like I laid in the streets. Like I played in mud puddles. I don't know what happened during that walk. My foot was scraped to hell. I'm picking pieces of glass and gravel out the bottom of my foot. My toenails all banged up and scuffed up, looking like something out the Flintstones. But yeah, that's y'all's first drunken escapade story. 100% facts, put it on my children. I woke up in the middle of a golf course. I'm lucky I didn't go to jail. The one thing I did find inside my pockets was a couple mushy ecstasy pills. I guess when they got all wet from the sprinkler and was inside my jeans and it just started to crush up and dissolve. I put my hands there and I'm pulling out like chalk. And I'm like, man, what? And it was the pills. To be young and dumb is an understatement. I legitly, and then after a couple days, I'm one of the people, I can black out and I won't remember what happened. But if you give it a little bit of time, bits and pieces of it like a puzzle, as people tell me about things, I'll start to remember. And I legitimately remember what they said happened. I remember I was talking to them, and I was talking to a chick, was talking to JJ, and I'm talking to different people. And I remember I look over, and there's a bunch of people sitting to my left that I do not know. And they're staring at me, but they're talking, and I can't, it's like their mouths are moving, and I know what they're saying, but I can't hear what they're saying. This is all what's taking place as I'm drunk out of my mind and messed up on ecstasy. Their mouths are moving. In my brain, I can hear everything they're saying, but no words are coming out of their mouth. I feel threatened, so I hop up. Come here, mister. What's up? Take my shirt off, throw my hat off. The whole shoe incident, I don't know what was up with that. Start swinging my belt at them. And then when my homeboys and them were laughing and telling me to chill out, I get mad at them and I take off walking. Now, I do remember falling in yards. I remember walking through yards. I remember sitting down beside houses for a while. God. I told y'all some of this stuff is embarrassing to tell, but it's the truth. This is all a glimpse into who I used to be. You couldn't force me to eat that stuff now. I was young and I was dumb. Like, you legitimately could not pay me no amount of money to eat that. I'm lucky I didn't die. The amount of alcohol I drank, another big part of why I stopped drinking was because I have liver damage. That's something I've never really spoke about, but I have liver damage. I started having these signs about 2 years ago that something wasn't right. And I went to the doctor. And he said, Jay, if you don't stop drinking, you're going to die. I got real drunk the night he told me that. And I continued to drink for a couple months. And then me and my wife got into a heated argument one night. And she told me, I want you to look at your son. Now, I want to imagine your son having to bury you. You know how much that child loves you and what it would do to him if something happened to you, Jay. That was a life-changing statement. That statement, it did everything. I needed that mental image. I put the alcohol down and I walked away from it. I'm happy to be sober. I'm happy to share these stories with y'all. I know a lot of y'all, you're going to be like, that's cap, that's a lie, because you couldn't imagine, like your brain can't fathom something like that happening. But these are 100% my stories. These are 100% facts. These are things I lived through, things that happened in life. These are the things that made me want to become who I am. These are the things that make me never want to look back. These things make me so much prouder of the man I am, the things I've accomplished. Because my story isn't typical. My story's not like most. My life truly was crazy. My life truly was a movie. It was a book. It was a series. There's so much that happened that I need to share with y'all and get out of my brain that it's kind of just, it's overwhelming at times. I don't have to really sit down and think of what am I going to talk about today. I can just generally pick out a year, go to summer, winter, a month, and automatically something comes to mind. JJ and them would stay in Virginia for a short time after that. JJ ended up getting locked up here. We got into a real big fight one night, and he got scooped up by the cops out of everybody that got scooped up. So the majority of his time here in Virginia was spent locked up. When he got out, Shellhead said, hell nah, we're going back to Philly. And he went back to Philly. He would bounce back and forth, and I seen him a little bit. I talked to him on the phone a couple months back, and last I heard he was down Florida. He had gotten away from Philly after his dad died. His little brother got a life sentence. Sad. But salute to you, JJ. Rest in peace to Shellhead. And I'm sorry to hear about your brother, Lil J, catching that life sentence. Don't drink. If you can't drink responsibly, do not drink. And definitely, listen to this part, very important part. Definitely do not do drugs. Don't. With the stuff that's out here today, it's not like it used to be. Everything's got fentanyl in it. Everything's got fentanyl in it. Do not risk your life just to get by, just to get high, just to laugh and do what the others do. You know, my son graduated when he was 18 years old. 2 weeks after he graduated, a girl in his class that graduated with him overdosed and died. She was 18 years old, had just graduated. I don't want that for any of y'all. Laugh at my stories. Share my stories. Send them to other people. Y'all laugh. Hee hee ha ha. But don't do what I did. Don't do what I did. Don't do it. You can't do these things no more. You will lose your life. I'm sober, and I'm proud to say that. I don't have any current drunken stories, but I got a million of them from the past. But anyways, these streets, these institutions, these prisons, these... my life. They're all just crazy worlds inside of an already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. Just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams. I'm living life. See, I got it right that time. And to all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Y'all know how we do, man. Salute. I'm going to get in the house. Second video of the day. My kids miss me, and I've missed y'all. Be safe.